What's going on, guys? You're in with Hardy Tech, and welcome back to Hardy Versus. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Go. Before that, I do have a bit to say, so if you want to skip right to my Pokemon Go discussion, click right up there in the annotation, or to the whatever time it says there, and it'll take you to that part of the video. So, yeah, we're kind of changing up the Hardy Versus idea, because we haven't had one in probably about a month now. I think it's been probably over a month. Since we had the Braxton episode, or right around there. And at first, it was an idea I really liked. You know, me taking a Pokemon, taking my Let's Play style of commentary where I just ramble completely impromptu, because I feel I'm pretty good at that, and just talking about a Pokemon for, you know, a few minutes. And then I realized, that's gonna get really repetitive. And I'm trying to avoid the glare of my screen on my glasses. No, that's weird. I used to record videos without my glasses on because I hate the way I look with my glasses on. And now I can't, now it's weird seeing myself without my glasses. Maybe I'll just shift back, I don't know. This is a struggle. Just don't look in my eyes, look anywhere else. Don't look in my apparently magnificent eyes. I've been told I have really pretty eyes. No, I was gonna move the webcam really close, but that might be making it a little too personal. Oh, what the heck. I'll do it for you guys. Oh. I don't get it. I don't understand eyes and all that stuff. Oh man, I wish I wore contacts. Okay, this has been the worst start to a video ever. Yeah, we haven't had a Hardy Versus in a while because I realized that the idea, as good as it was in theory, was going to get really repetitive doing it with all 720 Pokemon. Like, I said a lot of things about Fennekin in the Braxton video. Like, how many different things am I really going to say in the eventual Fennekin video? So I decided to kind of scrap that because I knew it just wouldn't be that enjoyable, and instead I'm just going to kind of take Pokemon topics and talk about those instead. Like, for example, today we'll be talking about Pokemon Go. In the future we could have an episode talking about Nuzlocke. It's still going to be completely unscripted, completely somewhat unfiltered. It's going to be like the old Hardy that you guys love from my Nuzlocke and stuff. Rambly Hardy, you never know what I'm going to say, as if the first 2.5 minutes hasn't been the perfect example of that. So if you guys enjoy that style of me, hopefully you guys will enjoy this Hardy Versus. I want to have one once a week. I'm currently working on like a permanent video schedule. And if you want updates on that, you can check out my Patreon, where I have a exclusive Patreon only blog where I update you guys on videos and stuff like that. Videos that nobody else will know about until they're released, and you also get to see them 24 hours before everyone else, so that's cool. But with that out of the way, let's get on to the, I guess, third episode of Hardy Versus, but the first one of the new Hardy Versus Pokemon Go. So I'm sure absolutely everybody out there is aware of Pokemon Go's existence by now. I never expected it to be as huge as it's been so far. It's really caught me off guard. I actually tried recording this video 2 days ago. I believe I tried recording this 2 days ago. And for various technical reasons, it didn't record. All those issues are fixed now, and I'm able to record this now. But I'm very glad that happened looking back, because the video I recorded a few days ago was a pretty negative one. You know, Pokemon Go had just come out, a lot of server issues, a lot of gameplay issues. I'm like, this is the worst thing ever, this is horrible. I was just very negative about it. And I was saying how first impressions are everything. So many people are going to try this, see the servers aren't working, give up on it, never going to come back. And I'm glad I'm getting a chance to re-record this now, because a lot of those issues are being fixed out, at least for US servers. I haven't had a single disconnect today. I don't think I've had a single disconnect today, like having a server not available, which is a first, because every other day I've had that so far, and I've been able to play consecutively all day today. And now that I've had time to just kind of see the environment we live in now in the Pokemon Go world, and be able to explore it at its somewhat full potential, I kind of have new opinions on it. Like I mentioned before, I was very negative of it a few days ago, mainly because I was already skeptical going into it, because I've heard very negative things from the beta, how the gameplay was pretty boring, overheats your phone, which doesn't seem to be an issue that has been fixed. My phone, I have a pretty recent phone, Galaxy S5, still gets really hot while playing it. And of course it eats away at your battery. And so I was like, I'm tried going into it with the lowest possible expectations. And despite that, me trying my best going there with low expectations, once it actually started coming out, I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever, I need it right now. I ended up going, through the non-official ways to get it at the time before it came out in the US, to no avail because it just couldn't get on the servers. And now that I've had a chance to play it, it's a lot of fun, I admit. It does get a bit boring at times. I don't know if it's just the area I live, but I've got like nothing but Rattatas, Pidgeys, and Weedles, and a few Caterpies, very few Caterpies, but a lot of Rattatas and a lot of Pidgeys. And I've had one issue with the game. I haven't had it today, but yesterday I went out and an issue I would have a lot is I would throw a Pokeball and then the game would freeze. Like it would catch the Pokemon, but before it starts shaking, it would just sit there indefinitely. The problem with this is a lot of the times after it would freeze, I would try reconnecting and the server would be down. However, I had used an incense. And that timer kept ticking down even when I couldn't connect to the server. Which sucked because you get very few of those free, you'd have to buy them otherwise. I basically wasted it. I wasn't able to connect for another 5 minutes, and 5 minutes of the instant timer was gone. And I was a little upset about that, to see that. So I think it'd be cool if they implemented like timer-based stuff only ticks down, at least for Incense, like when you're logged in. And I get, a lot of people are probably going to be playing for 30 minutes consecutively if you're out for a walk. But if you have server issues like that, or if you have like an emergency phone call or something, you don't want to necessarily waste that. So I think it'd be cool to only have the time tick down while the app is open. And I guess that could probably be taken advantage of with like the watch thing. There's got to be some kind of workaround for that, because I was basically screwed out of part of my Incense, and I was really salty about that. And I'd also lose out on Pokeballs, which apparently are kind of hard to come by. However, though, I had a really good experience with Pokemon Go today, and this experience is what kind of turned my opinion of it around. Like, I used to be really negative. I think a bit more positively about it now. I love taking walks. And I used to go out and take a walk every single day, and then I just kind of stopped. Because sleep schedule messed up, I too hot to go out, various reasons. I stopped going outside for walks, and going out for a walk today was really nice. It felt really good to just be outside and be active, and to actually, it's cool to feel rewarded for it, because even if I didn't find any Pokemon I really wanted to catch, I'm hatching eggs, which is awesome. I love the idea of hatching eggs, even if my first one was a Magikarp. That's a really cool thing, and I like the fact of like being rewarded for going out and doing something I'd probably do anyways. And I have a Pokestop, like, it's like a 2-minute walk outside my door. If that, there's a Pokestop there. So if I wanted to, like, every 10... What? Why I gotta get text right now? Like, every 10 minutes, if I wanted to, I could walk out there, spin the wheel, get more Pokeballs and items or whatever. So I sort of have an unlimited supply of Pokeballs, like, right outside my door. But I went over to the next town over, which is a really, really small town. Like, maybe 900 people live there. Like, definitely less than 1,000 people in this little town. And it looks like mainly a one-road town. But there was, like, 8 Pokestops within, like, a half-mile strip. 2 gyms. And, I walked up and down that. So it was, like, a mile of walking. I hit, like, 15 Pokestops. I wasn't ready to battle gym. I don't have very high level Pokemon yet. But a really cool thing is there was a cop car who he had pulled someone over for some kind of traffic stop. I don't know if they were speeding or whatever. And I was with my roommate Sarah, and we were walking by this cop car, and he saw us looking at her phone. He rolled down his window and stopped us, and he said, "Are you playing Pokemon Go?" Or I think he said, "Are you catching Pokemon?" And we said, "Yeah." And I was like, oh god, is he gonna be like, "You better be more careful and don't get killed"? And he responded, "Oh, cool, good luck." And he gave us a thumbs up, and then he went back to like writing this person a ticket. And I'm like, I love this world! However, Pokemon Go does have its downsides, it seems. People taking advantage of it. I've heard of people like got kidnapped because they weren't paying attention when they were playing Pokemon Go. There was this big story about lures I can never pronounce that word. Like lure, like what you put on a fishing hook. Lure. I can't say it, I guess. But it's like a bunch of people set one of those down, waited for people to come to them, and then robbed them. Like that happened to 8 people. Went to this Pokestop with the lure on it, ended up getting robbed. And the 4 people were caught. But gosh, like, why can't we just have nice things? But it's so cool to see how huge this is. Like Pokemon, as hugely popular as it is, it's not as popular as it used to be. And it's like this might end up being the most played Pokemon game of all time, which is really cool to think about, because everyone who played Gen 1 way back in the day who fell out of series, they have a smartphone. They more than likely have a phone capable of playing this. Oh, by the way, people out there who have Windows phones bitching you can't play this, you have a Windows phone. What do you... reevaluate your life, please. Gosh, what was I saying? And they're like, oh, I recognize all these Pokemon. These aren't all these new, lame, dumb Pokemon, which I'll get to in a second. And they're gonna try it. And like, Sarah's mom has Pokemon Go. People who've never played Pokemon before are getting Pokemon Go. It's like literally something anybody can get into and understand. And it's so cool that it's become a global thing. Like when I was walking up and down that road, I passed 2 other people playing Pokemon Go, and this... Why are you not focusing? There we go. In this like tiny little town with like 900 people in it, I passed like 2 other guys playing Pokemon Go, and the cop, so it's really cool. One of the complaints I could assume some people would have is the lack of Pokemon. It only has Generation 1 right now. But I was listening to a discussion earlier about Pokemon Go, and they said something that makes sense to me on why there's only Generation 1 right now. Because eventually, the hype is going to start to die for this game. And, you know, the player base is going to be like, alright, I'm getting a little bored. And when that starts to happen, they could logically, realistically, you would think, release another generation of Pokemon. Like, release Generation 2 into the wild. And all of a sudden, whole new batch of Pokemon to catch. Everybody, most people... get back into it. And obviously as you get along into the further generations, you're gonna not necessarily get the older fans who aren't gonna care, but releasing that every few months extends the life of the app a very long time. So I can understand that. I just wish I could get something more than god darn Rattatas everywhere. So that's my thoughts on Pokemon Go so far. Completely unscripted thoughts on Pokemon Go. I'm glad I was able to redo this video again, because I originally was very, very negative. I was very, very hard on them for the server issues, saying you're going to alienate your fan base, you've completely destroyed all the hype for it. I was really upset, because I was just not able to play it at all. And I realize my European fans and any Asian fans are probably not very happy right now watching this video. I apologize. But it was worth the wait, and I'm glad to see a lot of people, a lot more than I expected, rode through the hard times of the game crashing and the server issues and stuff, and we're getting into the better working period now, because I think Pokemon Go is truly something special. That could become like a mainstream like thing we remember years and years and years from now. Like this could be like the new internet, basically. July 7th is basically the day society changed forever and we all became Pokemon masters. But that's going to do it for this episode of Hardy Versus. If you want more exclusive, if you want info about what future videos I'm working on and stuff, you want to see some of my bigger videos 24 hours early, exclusive Patreon only live streams, one-on-one private Skype sessions, and even a monthly care package sent to you courtesy of myself, feel free to check out Patreon. The link is down below. Most of that stuff is available for $3 or less per month. That's like a bag of chips once a month. $3. That's nothing. So feel free to check that out down below. Free art as well is included in that. It's a pretty good deal. I like to think anyway. So check that out in the link down below in the description. And until then, thank you guys for watching. I'm Hardy Tech Yo-Yo. This has been Hardy Versus, and I'm pretty sure I won this round. God, that was a shitty outro. I'll work on that. Impromptu.